from the College of Mass Communications on the campus of Texas Tech University. This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to this week's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Geena Martinez.
And I'm Rachel Kuykendall. A recent attack on a 62-year-old woman in Tech Terrace has some residents concerned about the abundance of Tech students in the neighborhood. Amanda Bateman reports on the concerns of residents and what they want Tech to do.
Tech Terrace has predominantly been student housing. With such close access to campus, students find a home life here in Lubbock while remaining so close to campus. However, some residents now may be wanting to take the Tech out of Tech Terrace.
With the recent attacks of a 62-year-old woman by a Tech student attending a party, Sid Seidemann thinks Texas Tech should be doing more to help out her neighborhood.
I feel like we're being squeezed out of our own neighborhood by eminent domain. We're being taken over.
Seidemann said that the woman who was attacked is her church secretary and thinks that more local enforcement should be made throughout her neighborhood to prevent crimes such as these, as well as petty offenses.
The takeover is in the fact that Texas Tech refuses to accept any role in student guidance.
DJ Wilde, the external vice president for the Student Government Association, says that Tech and SGA have been making changes in order to help students transition from campus life to living off campus.
Basically what we did is we put all the information out that the City of Lubbock has as far as the police department, the Lubbock City Council committees, as far as parks and recreations, and we included all that information out there for students to find out what can I expect when I move out.
Tech Terrace real estate owner John Winker believes Tech Terrace is still a good neighborhood to live in, despite the recent attack.
I think there was a group of people that thought that they would somehow capitalize on this assault, inflame it, and try to turn this into a situation where it was almost anti-Tech students. I think it made our neighborhood somewhat have a tarnished image.
Winker says that even though the attack brought much media attention onto his neighborhood, home sales and rentals have not been affected.
That is our neighborhood's fear, that we have possibly let it go so far without holding anyone accountable for their actions that we may have crossed the line on civility.
And made it sound as if, if you're walking the mean streets of Tech Terrace, that, you may be cursed at and vomited on and urinated on and hit with a beer bottle.
Winker also states that noting your neighbors as well as respecting their property is the best advice he can give to all Tech Terrace residents. For MCTV News, I'm Amanda Bateman.
Thanks, Amanda. With graduation just weeks away, graduating seniors are trying to decide what to do with their lives. Some will enter the job market while others see graduate school in their future. Caitlin Marie Hobson has more.
Spring has arrived at Texas Tech and graduation is only weeks away, leaving graduating seniors asking what will they do with the rest of their lives.
I'm going to grad school.
I'm looking for a job.
I will be pursuing my PhD.
Some students are finding that it is a tough time to graduate. Senior Des Hood says she initially wanted to go to graduate school.
Funding for a lot of my programs was cut and just didn't seem like a likely option, so I decided to try to get a job instead.
Now Hood is forced to look for a job in a market that can barely hire even the most qualified candidates.
I never imagined graduating from college at this time would be so scary. I think you grow up with these dreams of going to college and getting this fabulous job at the end, but in all actuality, that's not what's happening, especially lately.
Senior Lisa Atkins is choosing to go to graduate school. As a doctoral student, her tuition will be paid for.
I definitely feel like I've got kind of this buffer. Pursuing a higher degree is going to help me transition better and learn more things and then go out and find a job.
Lead advisor at the graduate school, Shelby Searley, says the school sees a definite increase in the number of applicants when the job market is down.
Anytime that there's been a dip in the economy, at least in the last 7 years, we do get a number of applications.
Searley attributes this rise in applications not to the poor economy, but rather people needing more experience.
I think it's that people are being trying to bump up their resumes and get better experience, because the more education they have, the more likely they are to beat out their competition.
For MCTV, I'm Caitlin Marie Hobson.
Volunteers from the Texas Tech Law School work in the Lubbock branch of the Innocence Project to free those wrongly convicted of crimes in Texas. Megan Wilbur takes a look at the project and the satisfaction volunteers experience when someone wrongly convicted is proven innocent.
Volunteers from Texas Tech Law School and their legal leader, Jeff Blackburn, work as the Lubbock branch of the Innocence Project. The goal of the project is to free wrongly convicted persons in Texas. Students receive class credit to help with the Innocence Project and spend hundreds of unpaid hours. Blackburn says the job is morally rewarding.
Getting somebody out of prison that doesn't need to be there, that has wasted, has had maybe 20 years of their life taken away from them, is not an experience that can even be described in words.
Students discuss cases with Blackburn once a week. They receive so many plays it is impossible to answer them all. Pending projects require intense review of transcripts, records, and DNA evidence. Students say they get attached to certain cases.
She was actually subsequently released, but we've been able to figure out that she really had nothing to do with that murder.
The recent pardon of former Tech student Timothy Cole was a major success for the local Innocence chapter.
The whole Timothy Cole thing, I didn't really do a lot on that specific case, but just knowing that I'm a part of something that was able to do something that's never happened in Texas before.
Blackburn says not all the people requesting his help are innocent. Some prisoners are guilty and their requests and letters are refused. The organization is not for profit and funding is a major job.
We've done what we called a blues ball, where we had musicians come in and play, and then people bought tickets and have come in. I think we've auctioned off items and done raffles before.
The Innocence Project depends on the help of Tech Law students. Blackburn says their effort is uplifting.
These kids have forced me never to write off the legal profession. They have made me believe more in what my profession can do and ought to do than I've ever believed in my whole life.
There have been 48 exoneration cases in Texas so far. With MCTV, I'm Megan Wilbur.
Thanks, Megan. More than 400 people showed up to see the first drag show ever on the Tech campus. The Gay Straight Alliance and Residence Halls Association sponsored the drag show to raise money for Project Champs, as well as increase awareness of HIV and AIDS. One of the performers in the show, LaToya Van Cardy, says she has only performed in clubs and the Tech venue and audience is different.
I know it's a different experience for a lot of people that are here. Some people are scared of drag queens and they're like, oh my gosh, is that a man? So it's like, I want them to be able to come here and like, that's really cool. Like, that's hard work. They worked really hard and they came out here to do what they're doing.
With increasingly popular websites such as YouTube, fame is just an upload away. Emily Mosier takes a look at Tech student and YouTube sensation Stephen Torrance and his American Sign Language videos that have been seen more than 7,000 times online.
Anyone can be famous now more than ever before. Thanks to internet websites like YouTube, getting your name out is easy. YouTube allows anyone with an internet connection to share a video with a worldwide audience. People you might see on a regular basis at the store, coffee shop, or walking next to you on your way to class may in fact be the next sensation on YouTube. One of these YouTube sensations happens to be Tech student Stephen Torrance. Torrance is a senior philosophy and general studies major from Georgetown. He is famous for his American Sign Language videos on YouTube. His Party in the USA video has even reached over 700,000 views. He said he fell in love with signing during high school, and after entering Tech, he decided to take sign language classes, which is where his sign language videos came about.
Things kind of got started with the song signing when we were required to do a gloss and interpretation for a class, like as our final project, and I ended up just posting that on YouTube, and it got enough, good response that I kept it up, started doing it on my own time, and the rest is history.
Torrance has gained a following from his YouTube videos. He interacts with fans through his YouTube channel, as well as on his Facebook fan page. Torrance said he was even asked by students from the University of Tulsa for a song signing performance last month.
It's basically audiology majors and sign language students brought me in to perform for, it was about a crowd of about 130 people, and very fun. I performed 10 songs plus an encore, talked a little bit like this about sort of my history and why I got into it, and it was just great. Met a lot of great people.
Even though he doesn't have any plans after he graduates in May to pursue a sign language career, Torrance said he would probably continue to perform.
I don't have any plans at the moment to do any. I've created an account on Eventful, and I would say if any particular city demands me, like more than 100 people there demand me to come, I'll figure out a way to make it happen.
That's a great song.
That's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching our MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Geena Martinez.
And I'm Rachel Kuykendall. We hope you have a great week.